Basic probability is the lesson for today. I'm hoping that I'll cover that under 12 minutes. Stick with me. All right, let's start with the definition. Definition of a probability is a likelihood of an event to happen. It's just like a prediction, and it's given by this mathematical ratio that probability of any event happens, I call it Pn, is the division of number of ways to get desired outcome, what is it that you want to get, over the total number of possible outcomes. Okay, and you've done this before, it's very straightforward, but before we continue, we have to put in a couple of specific information. First of all, the probability of an event, let's call that E, probability of E, an event cannot be less than 0 or greater than 1. If a probability of an event happening is less than 0, that doesn't make any sense. And if a probability is greater than 1 in this case, that means the probability is like over 100%. That doesn't make sense either. So the probability of something happens for sure, that's 100%. The probability of something will never happen is 0, and everything is in between that will be calculated. So that's one of the restrictions that you have to remember. And now we're going to talk about some definition and review for the probability chapter. Number one, what is a sample space? Sample space is set of all possible outcomes of an experiment. So you have let's say a coin that you're tossing. So the coin, when you toss, what do you have? Two possible outcomes, tails or head, right? So there are two possible outcomes. That's a total sample space. If you're rolling a die, what do you have? There are 6 possible outcomes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's suppose it's a 6-sided die, by the way. Okay, when we do that, that's what you will get. These numbers are the total number of sample space. Now, what is an event? Event is a subset of a sample space that can include one or more possible outcomes of the experiment. And that's very straightforward. When you roll a die, you may get a 1. And if you get a 1, that's an event, okay? Or it could get a 2, or it could get a 3, whatever that is. The next one is that the outcome, definition of an outcome, you already know this, is one particular result that you're looking for or whatever that happens out of that experiment. And what is that experiment? I know I'm going back into the very basic, but an experiment is an activity with a recordable result. So that's what the experiment is, and not only in mathematics, but in science. Okay, now let's go through some examples. Okay, so what do we have here? We have a coin is flipped 3 times. What is the sample space when you do this? Okay, so the total sample space now is, so these are the total sample space. So either you get all 3 heads, 2 heads, 1 tail, 1 head first, then tails, then head, and then so forth and so on. And notice that when you do all the possibilities that you put, total sample space that shows up will end up being the sample space, and it will be 8 elements in here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, now here's the question. What is the probability of getting 2 tails and 1 head? Well, you just go ahead and look at how many of this desired event is happening out of the total. So let's go ahead and underline what we have. Okay, so 2 tails, 1 head. So 2 tails, we have 2 tails, 1 head here. We have 2 tails, 1 head there. We had 2 tails, 1 head there. We don't have anything else. So there are 3 possible outcomes. So it would be 3 out of the total outcome sample space. That is the probability of getting 2 tails plus 1 head. That would be 3/8. Okay, so and then you can use your calculator if you want to and put it in a decimal expansion, which is not a problem. Let's do that. So decimal expansion on that one will be 0.375, and then we can change that to percentage, will be 37.5%. All of these format they are acceptable when you're dealing with probability. You can leave it as a fraction, you can leave it as a decimal expansion, and you can leave it as a percentage. This is like 37.5% probability that this could happen. You can get two tails and one head uh, within this flipping coin three times. Okay, let's look at another example. In a bag, there are same size and texture marbles so that they're all uniform and you cannot tell them apart by touching them. There are 3 red, 2 white, 4 blue, and 1 yellow marbles in the bag. So we do know what it is in the bag that we have. All right, let's write it up. We have 3 red, 2 white, 4 blue, and 1 yellow. Okay. What is the probability of picking one red marble randomly? So remember, you can't see it. So what is the total number of balls in the bag? 3, 2, 4, and 1. So that would be 5. That's 10. So there are 10 marbles. Okay, that's what we have. So what is the probability picking 3 reds? But how many reds do we have? We have 3 reds, and out of the 3, we want to take one of them, but their total number of marbles, that's 10m for marbles, that would be 10. So the probability of picking one will be 3 out of 10. Okay, and then you can just, again, use your calculator, come up with the decimal expansion or percentage. And I hope that you know how to do that. That's 0.3. You just multiply it by 100 every time, you get a percentage value. Okay, so that's the first one. So that's the probability. Now the next one is, what is the probability of picking a white marble, then another white marble randomly? Okay, this is a tricky question, but it's not a bad question. So let's look at it. So we had 2 white marbles. That's what we have. So the first probability picking a 1 marble, so that would be simply 2 out of 10. That's your first one. Okay, first draw. But then it says, what if you pick another one? So you take one, but you're not replacing it, and then you're going to reach over and grab another one. Well, the next one, you have only one marble, one white marble left because you already taken one out. Okay, technically, all right? So the probability of first one would be 2 out of 10, but the next one will be 1 out of 9 because now there are only 9 balls in there. Now, and the total probability will be, you multiply the first probability 2 over 10 or 1/5 times 1/9, and when you simplify that, you get 1 over 45, and that would be the fraction representation of the probability, or you can divide it and get a decimal expansion, but that's what will be it. Now remember, it's a multiplication here. This probability of these two events happening, because one first event was picking white marble and then again another white marble, it has to be less than the original probability of 1/5, which is 120. 1/5 will end up being 20%. So now it's like almost you're getting to about 2.2% right here. All right, so this is the answer to this question. Now let's look at another one. What is the probability of choosing the first ball blue and the second ball yellow? Okay, so here's the question. So let's write it up. First ball blue. How many blues do we have? We have 4 blues, and we have yellow, 1 yellow. Okay, so out of the first one, the first one will be, so let's calculate the first one blue. So that means 4 out of 10. That is the blue part. The first one is blue. Okay, and the second ball is yellow. So the second will be 1 over, and I already took 1 out, so that would be 1 over 9. This is your second is yellow. Okay, and now in this case, you again multiply. Now you can simplify that again. Okay, that is 2/5. So that would be 2 over 45. And that would be the probability of this event happening, choosing the first ball blue and the second ball yellow. Okay, Very nice. So three, four examples of probability, basic probability. I'm going to expand on this type of questions. This is called the independent or dependent probability questions. I hope you found this useful. Until next time, check out the next video on this probability series.